out our shirt on Teespring.
Folks, gather around. We've got ourselves a real Washington doozy. Remember those Trump folks? Turns out they're about as good at keeping secrets as a toddler with a juice box. Imagine a Signal group chat. You know, the app that's supposed to be super secure? Now picture top Trump officials using it to dish about, wait for it, military strikes in Yemen. Yup, you heard that right. National security, served up on a silver platter of digital carelessness. And who stumbles upon this top-secret texting party? None other than Jeffrey Goldberg, the editor-in-chief of. Talk about being in the right place at the wrong time, or maybe the right time, if you're into exposing government blunders. This wasn't just some casual, what are you up to, kind of chat. We're talking targets, weapons, the whole shebang, the kind of stuff that makes James Bond movies look like child's play. Naturally, the whole thing blew up faster than a Michael Hegseth tweet storm, so buckle up, folks, because this is one wild ride through the swamp, and it's about to get messy. Let's set the scene, shall we? Picture this. It's a dark and stormy night. Okay, maybe not, but you get the idea. Top Trump officials are huddled in their virtual war room, thumbs ablazing on their phones. National Security Advisor Michael Waltz, the guy who's supposed to be all about security, is there. VP J.D. Vance, the intellectual heartthrob of the Trump administration, is chiming in. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, who probably sleeps with a copy of The Art of War under his pillow, is in the mix. And let's not forget Secretary of State Marco Rubio and CIA Director John Ratcliffe, because no good scandal is complete without a cameo from the intelligence community. Oh, and did I mention Tulsi Gabbard? Yeah, she's there too, adding a dash of what am I doing here? Energy to the whole affair. They're talking shop, military style. But instead of secure lines and encrypted messages, they're relying on an app you can download on your grandma's phone. Targets are discussed, weapons are debated, and all of this is happening right under Jeffrey Goldberg's unsuspecting digital nose. News of this digital disaster, of course, spread faster than a bad toupee in a hurricane. Before you could say Espionage Act, Ratcliffe and Gabbard were hauled before the Senate Intelligence Committee. Now, if you've ever seen a cat trying to look innocent after it's destroyed your favorite houseplant, you can picture the expressions on their faces. Denials flew faster than spitballs in a middle school cafeteria. Classified information, shared on Signal. Perish the thought, cried Ratcliffe, clutching his pearls so hard they might turn into diamonds. Gabbard, with her trademark I'm so serious stare, insisted that they were just, brainstorming. The senators, bless their hearts, tried to get to the bottom of it, but it was like trying to nail jelly to a wall. Slippery answers, vague explanations, and enough political spin to make your head spin. In the end, it was a classic case of he said, she said, and nobody really knows what the heck happened. Now you might be asking yourself, what's the big deal about using Signal? I use it to gossip with my goldfish. Well, dear viewers, when you're discussing military operations that could have global consequences, maybe, just maybe, Grandma's favorite messaging app isn't the best choice. See, the government has these things called secure communication systems. They're like Signal on steroids, with extra layers of encryption and enough security protocols to make your head spin. They're not exactly user-friendly, but hey, neither is war. So why did these brilliant minds decide to go rogue? Were they trying to be hip and trendy? Did they lose their government-issued decoder rings? Whatever the reason, it was a colossal security breach, and the fallout is about to get real. Section 5, Espionage Act. Not just for spies? Ah, the Espionage Act. Sounds scary, doesn't it? It's the kind of law they whisper about in dark corners, the kind that can land you in a heap of legal trouble faster than you can say national security. And guess what? It might just apply to our Signal-happy friends. You see, even if they didn't share classified information, and that's a big if, discussing sensitive military plans on a non-secure app could still be considered a violation. It's like leaving the nuclear launch codes on a sticky note attached to a pigeon, not exactly best practice. The lawyers are already sharpening their pencils, folks, and the courtroom drama is just getting started. Will anyone actually go to jail? Tune in next time for the next thrilling chapter of As the Swamp Churns. Section 6. Elephants and donkeys divided as ever. As you can imagine, the political circus went into full swing over this Signal snafu. The Democrats, smelling blood, pounced like a pack of wolves on a wounded gazelle. Outrageous, they cried. Impeachment, they demanded. This is worse than the time Trump revealed classified information to the Russian ambassador. Okay, maybe they didn't say that last part, but it's probably what they were thinking. The Republicans, meanwhile, were caught in a delicate dance. Some tried to downplay the whole thing. Just a few texts, no biggie, they shrugged. Others acknowledged the error but urged everyone to just move along. Nothing to see here, folks, they insisted. It was a classic case of partisan politics, with each side trying to spin the narrative in their favor. And the American people? Well, they were left scratching their heads, wondering how their elected officials could be so careless. Section 7. The Donalds take shocked, not shocked. And what about the man himself, the former tweeter-in-chief, the one and only Donald J. Trump? Well, as you might expect, he had a lot to say about the whole affair. Fake news, he declared on Truth Social, his favorite megaphone. Witch hunt, he bellowed. These people are trying to silence me. He denied any knowledge of the Signal chat, of course, claiming he was too busy making America great again, to bother with such trivial matters. And as for Jeffrey Goldberg, let's just say Trump wasn't too happy with the journalist for exposing his former administration's little secret. Low-energy loser, he tweeted, or truted, or whatever it is people do on that platform. In typical Trump fashion, he managed to turn the whole thing into a personal grievance, a conspiracy against him, a sign that the deep state was out to get him. Because in Trump world, it's always all about him. Section 8 Fallout in the Swamp. So, what's the aftermath of this digital debacle? Well, the rumor mill in Washington is working overtime. Some say heads will roll, that firings are imminent. Others whisper about internal investigations, congressional hearings, and maybe even, gasp, criminal charges. The intelligence community is in an uproar, with career officials shaking their heads in disbelief. This is what happens when you put politicians in charge of national security, they mutter. The use of Signal for sensitive discussions is now officially taboo, with everyone scrambling to find new ways to communicate without ending up on the front page of. One thing's for sure, this whole mess has exposed the dangers of mixing personal technology with government secrets. It's a cautionary tale for the digital age, a reminder that even in the world of encrypted messages and disappearing texts, nothing stays hidden forever. Section 9. What happens in Signal? Might end up in court? So what's next in this saga of technological tomfoolery and political intrigue? Will anyone be held accountable for this digital blunder? Will Signal become the new smoking gun in Washington scandals? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure. This whole affair has given us a glimpse behind the curtain of power, revealing the casual carelessness and shocking disregard for security that seems to permeate the highest levels of government. And in an age where information is power, that's a very scary thought indeed. So stay tuned, folks, because the Signal scandal is far from over. And who knows? Maybe, just maybe, it will finally force our elected officials to take digital security seriously. But hey, this is Washington we're talking about, so I wouldn't hold your breath.